Well, good evening. Saturday night, shortly before spring. So, I'm that guy that never been a Gibson fan. Let me correct that. Not a Les Paul fan. I do have a couple D'Armands. These are based on the Guild Bluesbird. This is actually a really cool guitar. TV Jones pickups. Yeah, these are probably one of the best investment pickups I think I've made yet. These things sound amazing. For those of you who don't know, I run through a Fractal FM9, and I run through Adam's studio monitors on the wall. They're placed about 4.5 feet up, aimed down this way. So when I play, that's what you're hearing. I'm not running through a DAW. Eventually I'll set up for a DAW. But anyway, I digress. I didn't like what Gibson represented. A large majority of the people that I've encountered that are true Gibson people are posers. And pardon me if you're a Gibson guy and you're not a poser. This BS about, if it reminds me of Harley Davidson's. If it ain't a Harley, it ain't shit. That's true on many occasions. But I don't know, they just always seem, the Les Paul always seems so heavy and so bulky. And it doesn't sit very well in your lap. And I play a lot sitting down because I don't like staying out. I don't play out. I play in my basement. And so I have a lot of super strats and some nice strats too. So recently I was at Chuck Levin in Silver Spring, and I picked up a TV yellow Gibson SG. And I started playing it. And wouldn't you know it, I was like, man, this actually feels... Now, it was the standard. It wasn't the 61. It was the standard. And I have to tell you, I really like the feel of the neck. It did have a gloss neck, which was kind of hit or miss with gloss necks. So I really wanted the Gibson SG after that. I know, it sounds kind of funny. But I didn't realize that they would feel that good. So I have a friend, Matt Bergman, who works at Bill's Music in Catonsville, near Baltimore. And today I took a ride down to Bill's Music. Wanted to see Matt, say hi, look around the store, because they usually have some really neat stuff. And everybody in that store, I have to tell you, it's probably one of the nicest stores I've ever been in. Not the inventory, but the people. Bill actually passed away recently. Rest in peace. And everybody that I've talked to said he was really an amazing guy. Very kind man. So I guess it stands to reason that the people in the store would be kind as well, for the most part. I haven't encountered anybody yet that wasn't. So I went in there, and I walked into their glass case. I didn't walk into the glass case. Although when I go in there, I kind of get caught up. So I'm walking towards the glass case, and I wanted to see, hopefully, a Gibson SG. I saw a brown one. Worn brown. It was probably one of the worst finishes I think I've ever seen. It is brown. I mean, ugly brown. Pardon me if you have a brown SG and like it. I think it's ugly. But I turned the corner, and there, in the upper glass case, was, guess what? An Epiphone SG. and it's this green worn thing. Matte neck, matte finish. This is their classic. I don't know if it's a scarf joint neck, multi-piece neck. It is made in China, which, I mean, let's be honest, China's good at really one thing, and that's copying what everybody else does. Sorry, China, it's true. How many lawsuits have you been involved in? BMW, especially. So I picked this thing up, and I mean, this is a really cool guitar. So I started strumming it acoustically. It wasn't plugged in anything. Immediately I thought, wow, it sounds really good. Now, the fret ends, yeah, they leave a lot to be desired. I've cleaned them up a little bit, but I'm gonna have to take some time and put some ball ends on them because they're not very good. I did polish them. I took off whatever strings were on it, and I put on string joy. I love string joy strings. As far as I'm concerned, string joy strings are the best there is. Tonally, they feel really, really good. This guitar is so cool. You know how much I paid for this thing? $429. It doesn't weigh anything. I'm guessing this guitar probably weighs about 4 pounds. I have no idea what it's made out of. I have not done any research because I don't want to look at specs for this thing. I really don't, because I don't want to be disappointed by the specs because I like it just the way it is. I like the type of knobs that are on it. Love the switch. It's a little clunky, but it's a Chinese-made Epiphone, for God's sake. But I have to tell you, they did okay. It's not a Gibson, and you can tell. But I really wanted this body. I really wanted to play this and kind of get a feel for it. Has P90s, does not have humbuckers. I've never owned a guitar with P90s. Never liked the way they sounded. I mean, I'm completely contradicting myself with this guitar. I brought it home, cleaned it up, and I can't put it down. $429. It has, now, there's a lot of arguments about tone and where tone comes from and blah, 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 blah. And I am running through a very expensive floor processor. And I am running through some fairly expensive monitors. So I'm getting a very good signal through. And I am set up for, right now I'm running a JCM 800 called the Satch amp. For those of you who know Satch, Joe Satriani. You gotta hear this thing. There's been a few times in my life where I've admitted that I was wrong. I was very wrong. So, very first thing I noticed was a lot of super strats. So, for those of you who know, I have a damaged shoulder, wrist, and hand from a motorcycle accident. Very, very bad motorcycle accident. So I have a lot of issues with, like right now, I have really, really bad arthritis in my shoulder and my wrist. If I work through it, it usually alleviates in a couple days. And I put ice on it, and that usually helps. But I have to be careful how I play because I really don't want to get tendonitis in my left arm. I've had it once, and with all the nerve damage I have in my left arm, it gets very, very painful. And those of you who know what nerve damage feels like, it is horrifically painful. I've had 7 kidney stones, and the reason that kidney stones hurt so bad is because that's all nerves. That's why some people get projectile vomiting from kidney stones because the pain, it is just so intense. It hits a nerve, and the nerve runs from the kidney over to the gastro tract, and evidently ties in somewhere, and it hits that gastro tract and just triggers it. I know that's graphic, but sorry, that's the way it is. Wait till you get older if you're young. I think more and more as I play. Now, I've been playing for 7 years, all self-taught, and I've been looking for the right feel. As I said earlier, I play a lot of super strats. I play a couple baritone guitars, 7-string, and the one thing that I've noticed, the upper frets on my super strats come back here. They're not here. So it's awkward for me to bring my hand, because my hand doesn't, how badly my wrist was broken, as you can see, it's awkward for me to come up on the higher frets. Something I've noticed about this guitar, look at where everything is. It's right here. Yes, it's only a 22 fret guitar, but even some of my other 22 fret super strats, they're back here when I hold the guitar. This, I guess the projection of this neck comes out of the body farther. The Les Paul neck comes out at between 16th and 17th fret. This one comes out at a little higher. This guitar fits me really well. This is making me sick. I really like the Gibson SG to the point where when I got home and started playing this thing, my wife's gonna shoot me. I found a used Gibson standard HP2, which is a pretty rare bird on Guitar Center, and I ordered it. Now, if I don't like it, I can return it, so it's not a big deal. But I should have that in a couple days, and it'd be interesting to see what the Gibson feels like compared to this, because this is a really neat guitar. Then I'm going to go to an American-made SG, so I should have a lot to compare between the two. Now, that other one has humbuckers. It does not have P90s. And you can just change pickups and put humbuckers in this if you really want. But after having P90s in it, they're very clear. They're very crisp. They're very they're not in your face. I mean, if you crank the treble, the tone all the way up, yeah, they can get pretty bright. But back that treble down just a little bit, man, they really clean up well. I don't know what specs they play, what specs Epiphone has to work with, as far as, because for some of you who know about the Gibson headstock debacle with the Epiphone, and Epiphone has started using Gibson's headstock, or Gibson-like headstock. I don't know if it's the exact same one. I don't know if the measurements are exactly the same, but Gibson does own Epiphone, so technically they could do whatever the hell they want to do. Pardon me. If you want to try a neat guitar, go out and buy yourself an inexpensive Epiphone SG. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I don't want to spec out on this guitar because I want to leave it just how it is. I want this to be a fun guitar to play, and that's exactly what it is, a very fun guitar to play. Could I play this if I was a professional musician? Probably not. There's a lot, it feels kind of clunky, and I guess as a professional musician, you want something to feel a little bit more smooth. I don't know, I'm not a professional musician, so I don't know. But I'll bet you there'd be quite a few SG players that would have one of these at home that would enjoy playing it. I mean, Gibson SG players. Although, see, here's where we come back down to Gibson guys. Oh, those Epiphones are crap. Those Epiphones are crap because they're not Gibson. Or it's a Fender, it's not a Gibson, so it's crap. Guys, come on. I've got Fender Elites, and the fit and finish of my Fender Elite and my master built Strat, yeah, I don't have any other guitars that will, my handmaids probably, but that's a horse of a different color, horse of a different ballgame. Anyway, so that's my video for this evening. I'm going to spend a couple days really getting to know this guitar, and I'm going to do some videos of me playing it just to see how it goes. But as of right now, I think I'll be keeping this for a while. I think I'll be playing it. And it was an inexpensive purchase, so it's not like I'm sitting on a couple $1,000s worth of guitar. Oh my God, I have to sell it because I need to pay it off. It just doesn't work that way with this thing. Paid cash for it. Actually, I paid cash for it with a guitar with cash that I just sold my Skirvison. If you're a newer guitar player and you really want a nice guitar, something to take home and not have to worry about if you drop it, see? Epiphone Classic SG. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, have a good night, guys. Like and subscribe, please. I hope I get to inspire one person just to pick up the guitar and say, well, if he can do it, I can do it. Anyway, have a good weekend, guys. See ya.